this morning, but she called that there's this official duty that has taken her away from Abeokuta from around 6 a.m. So we're still expecting the Parents Teachers Association. They are also stakeholders in this issue, but I'm glad that there's this common saying that the person that feels the heat, the person that the shoe pinches is here, talking about the #1 teacher in secondary school, talking about Comrade Hakeem Lasisi, who is the chairman of ASUS. ASUS is Academic Staff Union of Secondary School in Ogun State. Comrade Lasisi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers at home. Good morning, Nigerians.
Yeah.
All right. Comrade, it's very good to have you on this platform. And this discussion, this interview is very sensitive because it is trending. And it's not only in Ogun State, because the report we also had is that Oyo State suspended a student for assault. Now the question is, how did we get here?
Well, thank you very much. Good morning again, Nigerians. Once again, Nigerians. Well, as we are all aware, the school system is meant to impart knowledge and also to teach our children social norms in the society so as to make them become responsible citizens in the larger society when they grow up. The problem started from the society. What is happening in our school is as a result of the core values, lack of core values in the society. You know, these students are very intelligent. They are not fools. They see how adults who attempt to have a good conduct in the society are being treated. While those adults that have bad conduct are being given recognition in the society. Go to the banks. When people are on queue, and one adult just come in and jump into the front. If the person is of bad conduct, nobody will talk. But let responsible somebody comes to the front, they will start saying, Oga, go to the back now, because they know the responsible person will not be able to talk. These students see how government negotiates with terrorists, how they give amnesty to militants. They are not fools. So these students also want to be recognized in the school. They want to instill fears in their fellow students. They want to belong. They want people in the school community to see them as big boys and big girls. They terrorize innocent students in the school. And you see, when students have a bad conduct in the school, the teachers are the custodians of these students. We are to punish them, we are to guide them, we are to mold them. But you see, as teachers, we have been handicapped.
How?
Because of the Child Rights Act of 2003.
Okay.
If you look at the Child Rights Act, these children have certain rights that you should not tamper with. Okay. Let us look at the section 11 of the Child Rights Act. You see, when the act was passed at the National Assembly in 2003, it was first revealed to the Nigerians in 2002. Some religious bodies stood up and went against the policy. Okay. But finally, in 2003, the act was passed. Okay. If you look at the section 11 of the act, it states every child is entitled to respect for his own dignity, and no child should be subjected to torture, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment.
That does not mean they shouldn't be.
Now, if you now beat any students, if you exercise full authority on the student, what happens? That means you have subjected the student to a torture. That means you've already tampered with the right of the child. And you see, in the past, we beat these children. The ministry will see it and pretend as if they did not see us. But when this crisis started, the government has to speak out that corporal punishment is banned in schools. Okay. Even though we have been doing it. But the implication is that if you mistakenly do it now, and any negative thing happens, that means you are on your own. Okay. And the parents too is not helping matters. In the past, students were being flogged with no issue. Because they were aware that they deserve the punishment.
Okay.
Nobody will have the gut to go home to go and report. Because even if you reported, your parents will even punish you more.
Okay.
But what is happening these days? If you mistakenly beat any students, the student will have the gut to go home and report you to their parents, and the parents will have the effrontery to come over to the school and make out punishment to the student, to the teacher that have the effrontery to beat their children.
Let me just stop you there for now. Yes, we had the experience in Baptist Girls College. What is the situation of that case now?
Well, it is only a pity the situation of Baptist Girls High School, Abeokuta, because we took the matter to the court, and you see, maybe because of this Child Rights Act we are talking about, we did not win at the law court. Okay. The judge, in his own wisdom, based his judgment on the fact that the child was beaten. Okay. That is just it. And that is what we are saying. Okay. Even the school authority, they have no, the school head, they have no authority to exercise the authority they have on these children.
Okay, comrade, let's not reduce this to just beating. Does it now mean that without beating, students cannot be disciplined? That's number one. Okay. And then number two, you know, these thugs, these trans, these boys, these deviants, they don't just rise up one day. Exactly. They must have come through the process, maybe from JS1, JS2, SS3, before they graduate to full-blown, or some of them are near criminals even from JS1. Are there no other areas of discipline, you know, that schools can handle? Because if you've lost this one now, that means you are not likely to win when it comes to. Are there other areas schools can explore?
Well, thank you very much. Yes, there are many ways the school can explore to punish the students. Okay. It's only the fastest and the quick one, and the one that at times can change the character of the children, is just the use of cane. Okay. You know, when we are talking of corporal punishment, it comprises so many areas of punishment. Yeah. You can knock the child on the head, which is very bad. Everybody is aware of that. Okay. You can pull the ears. You can use leather strap to beat such a student. All those ones are injurious to these children's health. We too will know. We don't normally exercise all those ones in the school. But in the case of beating, giving them one or two strips, that one is very easy for teacher to implement. For example, if a student comes late to the school, you can equally say, Akim, come. Then you give him one or two strokes and ask him to go. It is because that one is the easiest one. You will all agree with me that in the past, the students bore heavy punishment in the school. Yeah. You may be asked to go and uproot a tree. Yeah. That one is no longer in existence in the school. Okay. You may be asked to go and dig a hole in the school. Okay. All those ones are no longer in existence in the school. Okay. And you see, you know, in the past, the school head could punish the student at every point in time. Okay. If you misbehave in the school head can suspend you immediately and even dismiss you. Okay. All those ones are not in existence these days. As a school head, even if a student smoke Indian hemp in the school premises, you have no right to dismiss such a student without final authority from the government. You, as the school head, the only thing you can do is to first of all suspend the student and inform the government immediately. And that suspension will not hold, though. The government may or may not reverse your suspension, but you can never dismiss the student. Unlike in the past, where the school head is the alpha and omega of your school, you take total control of your school. Yeah. But unlike in the present time,
on this issue, am I right to say your members are disillusioned right now, frustrated, and of course just say, well, we have to go to work, do our teaching, whatever happens is left to them because there's nothing we can do.
Akim, let me even help, let me align with what you said that, because when he's saying that you can't discipline a child, you can't, you know, do major deterrent this thing. So where is the power of the teacher?
Well, thank you very much. Let me quickly correct this because the government has given us the final part of the whole episode.
Okay.
The government is not saying we should not discipline the students.
Okay.
What they are saying is that we should avoid the use of corporal punishment.
Okay.
But we are trying to tell the government that this use of corporal punishment cannot be totally banned in the school.
Okay.
Like the aspect of caning.
Okay.
If you permit the teachers to use just 1 or 2 strokes of cane, that is not too bad. But as you rightly said, the teachers are already disillusioned in the school because a situation whereby as a teacher who is the custodian of these students will see a student going against the school rules and regulations, and you will not be able to talk or to punish the student because of the aftermath, because of the attack from parents and hooligans from outside. You know, it is very absurd. It gives you a lot of concern. Unless something tangible is done to this, and we've already met the government, I think government is doing certain things to ensure sanity is brought back into the school system. Before we resume for in the next time, I think this policy will be rolled out.
I know that in your position as the chairman of ASUS, even the records that the government don't have, you have. Even the situations that the government don't get to hear of, you hear them. I know that if you say there are troubles of this kind of lawlessness in 10 schools, it could be 30 schools, you will know them. So what is the real situation? I'm coming from, this is where I'm coming from. I was with a teacher recently in the morning, and of course, walking to school. About 2 or 3 students just walked past the students, Tunji.
Okay.
I mean, the teacher.
Okay.
It was the teacher that said, "Hello, good morning, how are you?" I was now wondering, and why should you be greeting your students for? Say, that is the situation which we are now. You never know what they will think. Look at it. They were going, they did not even greet me. They did not even greet us. And they were going to the school. I had to say good morning. That was worrisome to me. Then I also know that recently somewhere in Yewa, in the Wode axis, there was this issue of students seizing the key of a teacher because he seized their phone. Eventually, the teacher has to dismantle his car to get home. I also know that around that area, a teacher caught them with maybe leaked question paper, and she asked them, "What are you doing there?" And they said, "If you near us, we'll slap you." The teacher did not actually wait to be slapped. She went to the principal, and the principal advised her to go home. If you put all this together, what is the situation now in our schools?
Thank you very much. That is exactly what is happening in our schools these days. You see, these our students, they have already been brainwashed by the society with a wrong misconception that they cannot be successful in life unless they engage in these social vices. Because these students are merciless. Many of them are already on drugs. So it is difficult for you to control them. In our schools these days, most especially for our women, they fear these children, these students. At times, you will want them to see you as their friends. You don't want them to mete out punishment onto you. At times, you will try to be friends with them, because even if you pass through them and you see them maybe in their groups, and you refuse to greet them, the aftermath will be very powerful for you. Wow. You see, these students, at the initial stage, we are saying that they were only involved in student hooliganism, which is not strange to us anyway, because in this profession, student hooliganism has been in existence since for donkey years. Even in the 70s, in the 80s, when we were doing inter-house sport, you will see student hooliganism on display. But the way this thing is now coming up is what is giving us concern. You see, these students will hold meetings outside the school premises, where they call school 2. This school 2 is not school low. It will be an uncompleted building or in a bush, where they will come together, make an allegiance to the group under an oath. Should we call that hooliganism? The activities are kept away from the school authority, from the students, and you dare not tell the other students what was discussed at their meetings.
So cultism?
Yes, cultism is not prevalent in most of our secondary schools in Ogun State. Not even in Ogun State, even outside the state too, all over the federation, because of what is happening in the larger society.
Okay.
They want to copy the adults in the society who have been given recognition to operate.
Now, is there a cooperation between the school and the security agencies? Or what is the work, what is the effect of security? Because the moment when you're talking about cultism, when you're talking about illegalism, when you're talking about this, and we are painting a picture here that the teacher doesn't have the power to deal effectively. So what do you do with an unruly student? What do you do with a student who is violent? What do you do? I was watching a video, maybe this is an aside, in abroad, and then the girl was angry. And she was throwing everything on the, throwing her colleagues' chairs and everything. And the teacher was saying, hey, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid, wait. Don't. And then somebody was saying, that's the way they do it. If you dare to do anything to that girl, you are on your own. So is there a collaboration within the school and security agencies? Are you really that helpless?
Well, thank you very much.
Most of these stats are acts of criminality.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, part of the problem we are having is this introduction of Western education into our own education in this country. And you see, all these methods, I will see it as an un-African, because we are African. As you ask from me, if a student goes against the school rules and regulations, most especially when it involves criminal activity, the best thing the school can do is to invite the police and all this and other security outfits, the security agencies. Okay. And I want to say to a little bit that they are cooperating with the school heads. It's only, the limit they can go is very short. Okay. Look at what happened at Ashero. Okay. The DPO could react, but he decided not to react because of what people will say. Even it happens to we teachers too. If you want to face these students, we can equally face them. We only mobilize ourselves. Yeah. But we are looking at the reaction of the larger society, because the teacher will eventually be blamed. Just like we will blame the DPO and they being used bullets to attack, to retaliate with the students. Because these students are very merciless. Because they are on high drugs. They operate illegally in the school. And the school authorities have been handicapped to punish them. The best we can do is to call the security agent, and the security agent will come over to the school and do the needful.
All right, we're still looking at lawlessness in schools, causes, implications, and solutions. We've been chatting since with the chairman of ASOS in Ogun State, Comrade Akim Lasisi. Don't forget that I told you that 3 people were supposed to be on set with us. From the government angle, we were supposed to have the essay to the governor on primary education, Mrs. Ronke Shoyombo. She's not, officially, she's not around. But we also were supposed to have the PTA join us and give us their own version. And because people are saying nowadays the PTA is just a toothless bulldog. Yeah. But the PTA is here. We'll take this break. We'll be back. Yes, welcome back. We're still looking at lawlessness in schools, causes, implications, and solutions. And we know that in the past, to maintain discipline in secondary schools, the Parents Teachers Association have also been contributing their own quota. I know that in times past, even where they don't have teachers, the PTA will contribute money and they will employ teachers to teach the students. When there is a serious disciplinary issue, they invite the ESCO of the PTA and they take decisions together. Anyway, the PRO of the Parents Teachers Association Ogun State chapter is here with us in the studio, Mr. Oyedeji Sulaiman. Mr. Sulaiman, you're welcome to the program. So, all this that has been happening, what is the position of the PTA in this? Or are you still involved in running of the schools? Or, like I said before you came in, is this just a case of a toothless bulldog?
First and foremost, all glories and adoration to Almighty God. Because if there's no God, there's nothing we can handle. So, indeed, I'm using this medium as a representative for the PTA in this organization to recommend and appreciate the effort of our amiable governor, Dr. Abeokuta, for his effort. But as we are saying, the lawlessness in schools causes implication and solutions. There are two angles. To say the fact, it will be two angles. Firstly, out of it, we have two angles, as I'm saying, secular angle and religion angle. But due to the time, I'm here to enlighten more on secular angle. The PTA is a body that recognized by the federal government of Nigeria. Even though in the day of our late Awolowo, they used to collaborate with the PTA because there is no success, there is no improvement, there is no progress for the effort of the teacher, including the government, without the collaboration
of the parents.
Okay. Moreover, today in Ogun State, our last administration, they have tried their best. Likewise, our present administration, they put more effort on it. There's many gathering and organizations we have talked this matter that the matter of education is not one way. It's a major capital that everybody will contribute on it. Likewise, the proverb of Yoruba saying, "Agboni oro eko." It's not the matter that one person say, "Yeah, I'm the person. Yeah, I'm going to carry it." No,
we are all major stakeholders.
We are all major stakeholders.
Comrades, let me just even begin from that point, because when we are talking about lawlessness, we have looked at, before you came on, we have looked at, the inability of the teachers. But some people are saying, I'm not talking about PTA as a body now. These children, they come from which one O or the other. These children, they are not sleeping under the bridges. These children, they have a face somewhere. Is it not that the parents are failing in their duties?
Thank my brother. Not only parents.
Okay.
That's the question, the last question. What's the causes?
Okay.
After all, I told you that when we are going to look this matter, we are going to look in the two angles.
Okay.
If you go to the Holy Quran, I as Alhaji, as a Imam,
okay.
Likewise we are sitting here, we have a manual for this seat. That Almighty God gave us manual to live peaceful in life. Allah has taught it in the Quran that they used to call it al-fasad, corruption. Corruption leading to the lawlessness. Okay, that lawlessness, not only the parents, not only the government, both the parents, the government, the guardians, everybody involved in it.
The society.
In the society. Lacking to take their responsibility in full, leading to the lawlessness, most especially from the parent. A mother goes out without the consent of the father. A mother doing the things without the consent of the father. No matter how, that child will go out and we act lawlessly in the society. Because they say charity begins at home. The 70% out of it from the parent and the guardians.
Okay, let's come back to Comrade Lasisi. Tunji, we have this decision taken by the state government. Please, can you read out the names of the schools? I think we have some 12 schools, notorious. Of course, they've been found guilty and they've been shot. Let's listen to
Ahead of the first time break.
Ahead of the first time break.
Egba High School, Ashero High School, Itori Comprehensive High School, Itori Ofada Community Comprehensive High School, Ofada, and Lafenwa High School, Abeokuta, Egbaowode Grammar School, Comprehensive High School, Ijo, Unity High School, Kajola, Eboro, Eyini Comprehensive High School, Government Science and Technology College, Lishabi Grammar School, Methodist High School, Arigbaju.
Okay, the Egbaowode Grammar School there confirms my, okay, you know that as a journalist that I said Owode exists. Yeah. Now, this decision by the government, where does it, what can we achieve with this?
Well, thank you very much. You see, to have a sustainable development, our students should not only be preserved, they must be disciplined. Okay. I think that is the effort being taken by the government. Because we as a union body, we recommended to government that all our schools should be shut down immediately after the exam. Okay. But the argument of the government, we want to reason along with them. Yeah. Because it is not all the schools that were guilty of this offense. They were selected schools, the schools that were classified as hotspot. Okay. I think this will serve as deterrent to other schools, because you can see if your own school is shut down and my own school is not shut down, it has implication on your school. Okay. That means the violence is very prevalent in your own school. The recommendation we give to government is to shut down the whole school in the state. Okay. But you know, this will be a bad signal to other states in the federation. If the school change for better, I think this will not be done to them again. But other schools are supposed to see what is happening in these schools now. In the first instance, in all these schools, this post-examination entertainment practice will not be held in the school. Okay. Go to the schools where the schools are not shut down. The students are playing football. They are doing all sorts of exercises. They are doing
extracurricular activities because the exam is over.
Have been shut down. I think other schools should learn from this and try to change for better.
Alaji, let me ask before you take on that. Comrade, is it really that? Is it that the entire school, when you shut down the school, is it that the entire school, assuming you have a population of 1,000 students, is it that when you shut down the school like that, does it mean that the entire 1,000 students? Because the way I look at it, it's just maybe 1 or 2 or 3 fragment of these students. Is it that we are losing control?
Yeah. You see, when we met the government, the government also have fashioned out another method that will contain these excesses of our students. Okay. You see, a drastic disease, they say, needs a drastic solution. Okay. This is the first step. I know, as you rightly said, the closure of the school will not be the final solution to the menace. Government has set up a lot of guidelines against next time, which I believe will be worked. Part of it is to involve the parents in discipline in the school. Because you see, where the PTA is very effective, the crisis will be less severe.
Okay, good.
Because the PTA is supposed to be an intermediary between the school and the community in which it is located. Okay, and the academic and the co-curricular activities, the success of any academic activities in the school depend on the viability of the PTA in that school, because they monitor everything we do in the school.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you, I'm just going to put it to you. We all know that right now, the PTA is not all that effective as it used to be. What do you want from the government that will make the PTA effective? For example, I know that in times past, where they don't have teachers in some subjects, PTA employ teachers and pay them. But now, I'm not too sure that the PTA has money in its purse, because for you to have money, the children will have to pay some certain amount. What is the position of government on this, and what does the PTA want for the PTA to be effective again in running of schools?
Thank you, my brother. The role of the PTA in the school is a major role. That's the solution to this issue. If they, please permit me to put three to four out of it. Firstly, the government and parents, the guardians, should stand up to make the effort. Okay. For example, 75% of the schools have no fence. Okay. So, in some rural area, no fences in the schools. The school have no fences. A police have a privilege to go out in a time they like and come in. When you go to a hand, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you see them roaming about because there are no schools, there are no fence in the school.
Can PTA help in that?
That's the duty of the PTA. Secondly,
Do you have what it takes to help in that now?
yeah. We have it.
You have the money.
No, we have no because it will require money. The parents,
And the government is saying they will not collect. That's where I'm going.
No.
What do you want from government?
The parents
for the
contribute
PTA?
money.
Yeah. Are the parents contributing money now?
No, they have already stopped every visit to contribute
So
money.
what do you want?
Even though before they used to contribute block. Okay, you bring 1 block, you bring 2 block. They will gather the block and do the first.
So the government should look at this and
Apart from
revisit it.
No security in the schools. The PTA used to acquire security, day security and not security.
Because we have money in the pumps.
Because we collect token money from the parents.
Okay, we can get you now. Okay,
So now, comrade, let's come to, he's talking about the fence, there are no fences, everywhere is loose.
schools.
Is it the responsibility of parents alone? You know, does government have anything to do here?
Well, thank you very much. Well, as rightly said by Alaji, you see, PTA has so much responsibility to do in this school. Like the fencing Alaji is talking about. What I want us to note is that government alone cannot do it at all. We don't need to deceive ourselves. In the past, when free education was being held in the country, we knew the total number of students in those days compared to the present generation, where we have several thousands of students in our school. Government alone cannot do it. There is an urgent need for government to involve other stakeholders in the funding of education in the state.
Okay.
Just like the PTA, the old student, the corporate organization, and the rest. It's like, as you rightly said, we have seen in the past where PTA employed more than half of the teachers in the school. So where we don't have a teacher for one subject, the PTA will employ from within the community there to start teaching these students. We have seen situations where PTA built classroom, they did this, they did that. They did the fencing in the school. Okay. But all these things are not possible any longer because the fund is not there.
And the way for the funds to be there would be...
The only option for this is for government to allow PTA to contribute to the developmental growth of these children in the school. And I think government has started taking effort on this. Because just yesterday, the government released a circular to all the schools that parent forum should be formed where they have the right to meet together and discuss how to move the school forward.
Parents forum PTA. I don't know. Anyway, we don't have too much
that
time.
will be within the parents. They will know how to solve
we have
the
PTA, and the government is now saying there should be parent forum. Parents forum will not involve the teachers.
Yeah, it will just be parent forum. They will have and it will be limited to the school, so that the money contributed by the parents in one school will be spent in that school. Okay. Not that they will say they are sending this to local government section, local government to the state, to the national. The money will contribute at Muslim Grammar School in Meko to not be sent down to Abuja. Because Abuja parents will not come to Meko to come and maintain our school for us. The parent forum will be limited to each of the schools. The parents in the school will meet and discuss what they don't have in the school. They will contribute the money and assist the government.
The PTA is being seen in some quarters as a union. And this time around, it's not going to, when you have the parents forum, it's going to be those for the school. You know.
Exactly.
Okay, as we go, Alaji, what will be your passing shot? What will be your last words as we go?
Thank you, my brother. Like us, I told that there's many solutions that I desire that will be the way out. The overcrowd in the classrooms. Go to our schools. Go to our schools. Overcrowded. At least 180 pupils in the class. 180, 150. The government should allow the parents to put more effort by collecting those teachers. And in the primary education sector, the PTA used to collect nursing, aunting, paying for them. I cannot lie to you. Some secondary schools have no Yoruba teachers.
Even English.
Even science.
So what are teachers?
The worst part of it,
I know.
In the schools, they have to learn computer. A school used to learn computer, no electricity, no anything. How are going to perform their duties? But if they allow the parents, the PTA to act, to approach their people, So they will know how to rub the mat together to contribute, taking money. By then they can buy generator, they can buy fuel, and so on and so forth.
Thank you very much, comrade.
It will be better for the government to allow the PTA to act.
Okay, the issue of overcrowding in school, you are used to it, yeah. So it's not, as Yoruba will say, it's the baraku, but it doesn't. But as we go, what will be your passing shot?
First of all, to the parents, I only want to appeal to our parents to pick up their responsibility. They should not surrender their roles to the teachers who are already overstretched in the schools, because some parents believe their children are bigger than them. So they find it difficult to exercise full authority on these children. And on the part of government, I want to appeal to government that the parents should be allowed to take part in the developmental growth of these children. The government cannot do it alone. We supported the issue of the parent forum. They should dialogue with the PTA and let them form this parent forum. Let the parent forum be functional in the school, so that they'll be able to contribute their own quota. Then for the students too, I want to appeal to our students. If you want to be successful in life, you don't have to have a misconception in your heart, because a tree abused a local tree and started to run. Looking back to see as if the local tree was running after him, the spirit in the local tree will not strike on the day it is run though. If you beat your teacher today, the consequences is tomorrow. Okay. Because tomorrow we are saying...
I want to just say, Kalaji, you've talked to parents, you've talked to government, you've talked to students, talk to teachers.
Yes, well, to my colleagues, yes, I know what you are passing through. I only want to appeal to my colleagues too. The reward of teacher is not only in heaven. If you do it well, you will get your reward right on this earth. It may not be today. By tomorrow, when you get to Ogtv and you happen, Mr. Tunji Akitayo and Hakim Akintunde happen to be your former student, you will be happy. That is when you will be seeing your joy. Don't say because the students are giving you bad concept now and you will not do the job. Let us discharge our duty to the best of our responsibility, even though the atmosphere under which we are doing our job is not conducive.
Even in your passing shots, we can actually see the situation. Even the students that we used to warn are now being appealed to. Even he appealed to them. He did not warn them. Anyway, we'll get there.
That is how it is. The cause of the aftermath.
Thank you very much. We'll be looking at lawlessness in schools, causes, implications, and solutions. I want to thank you very much, Comrade Hakim Nasisi, the chairman of ASUS in Ogun State. We want to thank you. And of course, Alhaji Edele Sulaiman, the PRO of the PTA, Parents Teachers Association in the state, that's Ogun State Chapter 1, so thank you very much. All right, so we still have a lot to talk about, and that's why we're taking a break now for our next set of guests to come in. Still the Wednesday edition of New Dawn with Tunji Akintayo and Hakim Akintunde. We'll be right back.